guy's biggest fantasy was that he wanted to hold my head in the toilet and f me in the I could never find any woman that was down to reenact that for him.
You let him?
So degrading. Oh my God.
He was honestly pretty gentle about it.
Gently, he humiliated the hell out of you. You know why a lot of men laugh at women and treat us like we're idiots? Majority of men have to deal with women like this. I'm sorry with disrespect, but if majority of men today have to choose to have the mother of their children, to build a life with you, to build a career with you, that you both can build something together for the future, and you need to deal with somebody that have so many mental issues and so many body count, why would they do it? They'd rather be alone. They don't
Because don't give a shit what men think.
Get married, be with a man, raise his children, and take care of his house. It doesn't mean you get to go and then sleep with as many men as you want and post pictures.
So I'm not allowed to be a sexually mature woman? Are you being my children?
No, I'm not. But
Then your opinion.
get a real job. It's not that hard.
It's a fucking real job. I don't give a shit if it's prostitution. Again, are you feeding my kids?
I can't hear this and I'll tell you why. You are mother to children. You're sitting here in the podcast saying, I'm a baby girl, I'm a slave. I don't want to hear this because literally you disrespecting your kids. You are mother before you are for yourself. You are mother before you're something in this world. Your baby and your kid is the most important thing. You're supposed to protect them, love them, and protect them. It's not put yourself out there and talk about their mother like that because you're humiliating them. I'm embarrassed as a woman to sit in a table with a woman like you.
There's obviously a lot that can be touched on here. But I guess, do you agree? Who do you agree with here? Do you agree with the lady with the very high teased hair, or the, I'm assuming, porn star or prostitute or escort or whatever she does? Who do you agree with more?
I agree with, if you're not paying my bills, you cannot tell me what to do. That's all that, oh, you should be this highest of honor, this modest of best of mother. That's great. But if you are not paying my bills, you cannot tell me how to run my life. If there is a video, if I am on OnlyFans getting my head shoved in the toilet and having sex, then, oh, well, we're going to have to deal with that when the time comes. Like, that's just what it is. This is how I get paid. This is how I make sure my kids are taken care of. This is how I actually get to spend more time with my kids because I'm not at a 40-hour-a-week job having to, deal with some bosses that don't like me because I'm a woman. Like, I don't have to deal with any of that. So if my head has to go to the toilet for 30 minutes or something like that a week, I think I'm perfectly fine. So do I agree with her? Then yeah, I agree with her. I agree with anybody that I'm not going to take care of their bills. Like, if you tell me whatever you do for money, I can't judge you unless I'm ready to put you in a better situation. And unless I can say, oh, yo, talk to me after this podcast and we'll get you, a better job. I'll find out your career and, we'll find somebody to link with you and get you, into a better position. But just to tell me, oh, no, you should be better just to be better. No, it's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. I hate when people do shit like that. Like, tell me to be better without actually helping me be better. Like, you're not doing anything for me, but saying that your life is so great, you think everybody's is just, it's just easy, know? And it's not, depending on her home situation, whoever her husband is,
Or is it? Like,
right.
That's her opinion. I mean, this woman is not, part-timing as your nanny, ma'am. Like, I don't see why anything that she does is affecting you to shame her for what she has done or is willing to do. Excuse me. For her kids. Like you're saying, like, you don't pay her bills. You have nothing over this woman's life. She has nothing over yours. For her to, at the end there, to kind of just be badgering her about, you're a mother, you need to be taking care of your kids. It's like, why are you assuming that she's a crack fiend doing this toilet sex for money for her addiction problems so she can stay out on the street all night? Like, where are these extra details of a Lifetime movie are you adding to her life?
Right.
She had an instance where a man paid her to do a kink thing, some type of fantasy thing, role play, whatever it was. She did it. She got paid for it. She consented. Consenting adults. All that. And you're sitting here talking about how you need to go home and feed your kids. Her kids are probably eating. Let's just go ahead and assume that her kids are taken care of. well clothed, well spoken. She loves them. They know that. Like, all those boxes can very easily be checked, but the way she makes her money, you have a problem. And it's like, that's not any of your business. I understand you're on a platform where you're kind of, and I've seen a couple of their videos before. I usually skip by them because I get annoyed. It's like the right side is always like some porn stars or very sex positive women, and on the other side is more of a conservative view. And it's just women kind of just going at it. The clips I've seen anyway.
Well, yeah, that's what create content. Two sides of the spectrum arguing with each other. But I think that's a flawed argument, because why am I arguing with someone that never had to have those options on the table?
Right. If you were a porn star, because you had to be when you were in the 80s, I don't know, I'm not judging by her hair, I don't know how old that lady is. You know, and then you were talking about how there's a better way, you don't need to stick your head in the toilet, and then you offering a course or a better way, and I'm here actually asking for your help for one, then yes, that can be a perfect merging and integration of reaching across the table quite literally and helping each other out. But if she's perfectly happy sticking her head in the toilet, she could have had the biggest orgasm that day. Who knows? She could have enjoyed it. But because you could never, and you have never, and you claim that you would never, I'm sure if God forbid, if any of those other women fell into hard times to the point where you had nothing but a car to sleep in and your kids with you, I'm not saying that's a ugly situation, but if it came down to life in that way, oh, you getting your head stuck in the toilet, you taking some so that you can get paid so you can feed your kids. If that was the only option left for you, you would do it. You would. And you do it with a little bit of grace because you get to feed your kids and yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you know, again, obviously this woman probably does this professionally and she's probably happy with what she does, and that's great. But I'm just, the shaming of someone else's job and profession in any space, I think is just corny to me, especially if she's like a housewife sitting up, not having to work, and your kids have nannies. It's just like, you really have no room to talk because you don't even have to work. You know what I mean? Like, stay in your lane.
I wouldn't even say that. I would say at the same time, even if she's a nurse pulling 12-hour shifts, like, this woman's priorities might be to see her kids more, not give her kids more money. So if me putting my head in the toilet is going to let me see my kids more, then why would I want to go work 12 hours a day or something like that where I'm away from them? Like, our priorities with our children are different across the board. So if we're in different financial statuses, there might be something that I have to do that I might get paid a lot of money to do with a lot less time than you, who gets paid a decent amount of money, but a lot of your time is taken. Like, it's the perspective of how involved you want to be in your child's life, I think, that would ultimately determine your options for providing for said child. But if you don't think like that, then you're just going to argue. Like,
close-minded to that fact, or to those options and opportunities, then
once again, a lot of people are in a lot of different situations. They're only in their situation, so they only see it from their point of view, which, I mean, I'm not going to speak for her, but it just seems like you speak like I have enough money to where I would never have to degrade myself.
And the fact that you do it is bringing down the whole sex together. All the whole gender is broken because of women like you. And it's like, what? Like, okay. I don't understand how porn stars are affecting how men treat you as an individual woman. Like, yes, there are situations where people believe porn is real. They take advantage of other people. That happens regardless. But to make it seem like this particular woman across from you today is the reason why men think women are stupid. She consented. No one else would do that fantasy thing but her. I bet that man was very grateful. I don't think that man tried to shove a bunch of women's heads in toilets and find out the hard way they didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, how childish do you think men are as well?
I will say, and at the same time, if women have been raised to believe that you're supposed to fully support a man, you're supposed to believe in a man, you're supposed to let a man provide, you're supposed to let a man take care of you, you're supposed to let a man basically do whatever he wants to do as long as he's taking care of you, why wouldn't I think that was normal in other people's circles? Like, just because I'm the first person speaking about it doesn't mean I'm the only person. He had to get that idea from somewhere. Like, I'm not the only person that's ever done something like that. So because it's in the toilet, that's so degrading to you. But it's the same act as if you wanted to pop a balloon. It's the same as, if you wanted
Sitting on a cake.
yeah, exactly. Like it's his kink, it's his thing. So I don't know. I stick with your money, man. Like, cause
Daniel
yeah, you live in a reality that is getting smaller by the minute. So yeah, but kudos to the other lady for sharing her story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hooters caves to protesters, opens first femboy Hooters in Buffalo. No one hears a word they say. Has the memory gone? Are you feeling numb? Not a word they say, but a voiceless crowd isn't backing down when the air turns red.
Dang.
Thought we were gonna see him get there. Okay.
So what do you think? Should there be a femboy Hooters in the great old United States of America?
I think people fight to maintain their current status because it's all they know. I think you hit a certain age in your life, and whatever happened that year is what you want to happen every single year for the rest of your life. So when you see new things like this, you may get offended because that's not the nostalgia you had from when you were that age.
Good old days where it was just a bunch of teeny bopper teeny girls with the titties out.
That's it.
The good old times.
That's it. Because you don't have that nostalgia feeling when you see people at this age doing stuff like this, you immediately think it's wrong and think that
personal.
They have mental issues because they identify more with females than they do males. And I'm like, everyone identifies with the opposite sex in some way. We all have a relationship with the opposite sex. You can say you love females to the day, you die and you'll do anything for a female, but then someone's saying, well, I just want to become one. Oh, that's too crazy. That's too far. But you're willing to die, though. You're willing to give up your life for your wife. You're willing to give up your life for your daughter. Mm-hmm. But someone's saying, I just want to be like my wife. I wish I was a little girl. That's when that's crossing the line. You went too far. You have mental health issues. I think that's completely ludicrous. But so no, I don't see anything wrong with it. Hey, if it's selling, if people are there every day, if more people are coming out and flying their flags high and proud, then yeah. I mean, it's not. I think I don't know. Maybe because I'm just a very high forward thinking person. But for us to actually get money back from the top 1%, we have to start supporting our own economies. And for us to support our own economies, we have to support things that we'd actually do ourselves and things that we will believe in. Now, I'm not saying I would go to Hooters and, have my ass out and, you know what I'm saying? That's not my thing. But if I heard the wings were good, the atmosphere was amazing. I heard that, they put on shows and, they make you feel comfortable while you're there, then yeah, I'm going to go there. I'm going to spend my money with them. So I think I think that's the only way you kind of start to have the rich start to lose money on investments and things like that. And I think that's why they're like BlackRock and things of that nature are moving into real estate, because it doesn't matter what kind of business you open there. If I own the real estate, I still control the rent. So I still get paid either way. So I think that's where some companies are moving into owning real estate, because it doesn't matter where you spend your money. I still own the property. I still get my return on investment no matter what you do. So yeah, I think that's a great idea if it's real. I'll put it like that. I definitely think it's a great idea. What about yourself?
I've always been an ally, so so yeah, go ahead. I like Hamburger Mary's. I don't think it's around anymore. But I enjoy a drag show. I'm not saying they're gonna do drag just because they're men in feminine clothing poses and the like, but I have no problem with it. I'll go to a regular Hooters, you know? Like, I don't, that's not what gets me there. You know what I mean? Like, it's the food. If I'm going to a restaurant, it's the food. Even Hamburger Berries, I love the performance of it. If the food was trash, I would not be going. So, like, for restaurants, I go for the food. I don't really care if it's a femboy or a blonde chick with big titties and no ass, or I don't care. I don't care. Is the food good? Is it priced all right? All right. Is it clean? You know, like, fine. So, yeah, no, I don't have a problem.
I concur.